Doesn't it doesn't it feel good to hear that song again, Rosee? Let me see here. That
It
feeling.
really does.
There we go. Get them
Right.
comments showing. Yeah, what do you think of that little? I love that that red light on your headset. It's so cool. Um, what do you think about? What do you think about the little chat box there? That
I love that. It's so much easier to see, and I really like the little outline for it.
we- well, I had to make it match. You know,
Of course.
gotta match the rest of them. There's still some work to do to it. I already, as soon as I seen it, I was like, yeah, I need to shave it off here and do a little manipulation on that chat box there. But it really does help the
It looks
comments
good.
a lot easier. So, this is our first show discussing Nancy Guthrie. We were actually following it, the end of the week last week and then through the
Hmm.
weekend. We were actually gonna do a show Saturday and Sunday, but weather and internet issues and different things happen. So you know, what are you gonna do? It's not like you could wave a wand,
Control the weather. Yeah.
right? It is what it is. But we have talked a lot about the case in
Yeah.
the background. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight, later on, is the blood that's on the walkway leading up to the house. But we also heard news of a one Bitcoin is the new ransom, and they'll say who's the one that
Mm.
kidnapped Nancy. I, I hope if people really are playing games and this isn't the person that you see on that camera that allegedly kidnapped her, um, that's just really sick and twisted of somebody to do. You know what I mean? And there's a
Yeah.
real family out there, real loved ones that are going through real stuff. Even the family members that are being accused. It's one of the things I brought up last night. It's like, what are people doing? Like, they haven't even came out and said this dude's even a person of interest, you know, let alone a suspect.
Yeah. And like one of the things that bothered me so much was as soon as the footage came out from the door of, the masked guy at the door, I was in someone else's chat as it came out, and I was just reading the comments, and people were immediately suggesting that it was her son-in-law. I mean, the guy's in a mask. Like, don't listen
Yeah,
to a rumor.
he doesn't even. I'm sorry. If you paid attention to the guy's eyebrows, you would already see that that's not the freaking dude. He had
Right.
like three times the thickness of an eyebrow than the person did wearing the mask. I mean, you don't even have to call Inspector Gadget. You probably don't know
Yeah.
who that is, but everybody else knows who it is. You don't even have to
That's
call
fine.
Inspector Gadget to find out that this isn't the dude. I mean, the law enforcement have to do their job. How it was handled, I don't know. If you hear from the
Mhm.
guy, he wasn't even read his rights for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours. I don't know. That's something else we're going to discuss because we're also going to discuss the day one law enforcement messing up this case. Another day of just everybody standing around. It really upsets me that there has never been a ground search, and there's so many people out there. You watch these feeds, and you see all these people just standing around, t-shirts, chilling, eating food.
Yeah.
What? Why is nobody getting off their fucking ass and going to look for her? Seriously. That's the most upsetting thing to me. Like, number one, law enforcement didn't do it, and we're going to discuss it tonight. Trust me. Law enforcement still has not done a ground grid search. and we're on day 11.
Yeah.
But let alone you see these feeds and people are just standing there eating food and shit, and it's like, what the hell?
Just
Why?
trying to look important. Yeah.
Or if they go out there, they're out there for 5 minutes and then they're breathing heavy, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, oh, so we're just chilling back watching the show? Like, you have an opportunity to be there. You're supposed to be helping. Why aren't you?
Yeah.
It just, uh, there's
I
so many
know.
searches that could have been done by now. Like literally, we're talking about a vast area. We're talking about the mountains and stuff now. We're talking about camping. It's like way bigger now. You know what? You know how it's like walking into a room that just has a whole bunch of boxes, and you're like, damn, where do I even start? When literally you could have started when there was one box in the room. And then somebody else brought in a box and said, "Hey, here's another box." And you're like, "Oh, cool. We're almost done with this one."
You haven't started though. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. The way this case has been handled has been, I mean, in the beginning, I have to say, when I just like glanced over at it, it kind of looked okay. Everything kind of looked fine. But the closer you look at it, and the more you hear these experts coming out and saying that something's not quite right in the way it's being handled, then you start to like really look at it, and it's yeah.
It's like this, with this video, the video of the alleged kidnapper. It didn't even come out until the FBI asked for it, and the FBI asked for it that same freaking day slash the night before. Like, why wasn't law enforcement, like the family even said you know and look, you don't have to understand how ring cameras and all those cameras work. That's fine, you don't have to, but the family knows. And
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that the family's like, yeah, the camera was ripped off the front door. So you know what an investigator does? They call up the company and they say, hey, guess what? Because hello, everything is on a cloud server. Everything.
Yeah.
Even if the customer doesn't pay for the subscription, it still goes to the cloud server for the company. You don't have to call Inspector Gadget again. You don't. You literally could have had this video day two at the max because they would have gave it to you. It just doesn't. All of it from the very beginning is just like, it's like I made the comment in our mob chat. I said, this law enforcement failed Nancy like Sebastian Rogers' law enforcement failed him when it comes to day one frickin' searching and what did
Yeah.
or didn't happen. It's a shame.
Yeah. And I mean, in the beginning, the sheriff in this case, I mean, I'm not trying to attack him. Like, he seems like a nice person. I just don't know what he's like as a sheriff. He was doing like
That's a
no,
great way to put it. That's a
no,
great
no,
way to put it.
like he seems like a
Hey,
nice guy. But
that's a great way to put it because I wouldn't have put it. I I applaud because you. Thank you.
yeah,
Because yeah.
but I mean, like he was doing interviews and stuff, and I don't know. It did seem like he was kind of interested in the publicity of it, and I think he messed up a little bit with that as well, with just like the PR of everything. And now he's not. They're not even like giving
Yeah.
press conferences. Like they keep like I keep checking for updates on their X account, and I saw something about bees or a beehive, but then other than that, they're just like talking about how they're not giving updates. Like their update is
Yeah.
that they're not giving updates.
Their last. Yeah. They're talking about pizza. You know. And
Yes.
and and that's another thing. Like you got to be sick and twisted to deliver have a
Mhm.
pizza. Like it's a sweet, kind gesture of you to send food to people. Because trust me, when we're out there, we don't have time to go get food. Well, some don't. Some do.
Some do.
We don't. Yeah, some do, as you saw today. But we don't have time to go get food, and so when water bottles and things like that, nutrients and stuff, that really does come in handy because we do burn a lot of energy when we're out there, and so that was a very sweet and kind gesture, but at the same time, like I get it. I understand. You don't want to deliver it to a neighbor's house because then the neighbor's going to be like, "Oh, cool, somebody gave us a pizza." So the only house that you could really deliver it to where nobody would answer would be that house. But at the same time, I think it's pretty well known what was going on, and you could have been like, "Hey, Domino's, you know, uh, can you have this get delivered to the media crew that is outside Nancy Guthrie's house at this address?" And you can put special notes, leave at door, knock on door, whatever. You can leave special notes. It could have been this address, but this goes to the media that's standing
Yeah.
outside.
Or special note, please don't interfere with the crime scene, but deliver a pizza.
Well, that's not the Pizza Faults guy. That's the sheriff. Whoever the
Yeah.
sheriff was that was sitting in that vehicle, I don't know what you were doing, buddy. I don't know
Yeah.
what you like. That has like literally, it's the guy just walked right past him and was able to go up, and it's like, and then he gets out and tells him he has to leave, and it's like, what? Like, what are you doing? You're like, if that's the kind of Barney Five stuff that's going on, can you imagine like how many times maybe the potential alleged kidnapper walked by? Because think about it, when it comes to these crimes, a lot of these perpetrators, what if she is held somewhere? They like to go back. They like to
Yeah.
revisit and be in the moment while everybody else, they could literally be somebody that is standing out in that crowd and nobody even knows it.
Yeah. And also if you think about the amount of times that the scene was opened and closed again, like you don't even really know who was there in and out at any point. Like how do you know what is and isn't staged? How do you know what has and hasn't been removed? Like all of it.
Yep. The DNA dirty glove and the sheriff that let the pizza guy loose. Because it's
Yeah.
right outside. It's right outside, and if that's the kind of effort that you're seeing from law enforcement, I mean, you, if it smells like a cat, it's probably a cat. What's up? All right. I want to say thank you to Dolores. Hi, I just subscribed to your channel. I love it. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Let me go up and hit the heart on that and the like. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And also, I'm still getting used to doing my screen switches, so I do apologize. But we do thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for your support. Thank you for checking out the channel. And then here's a little confetti thank you for you as well. And let's give you a little applause. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And if I can, ah, this is a this is the hardest part. It's still still a little rusty here.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with extra confetti.
Oh shoot, no, covered up. Hold on. Oh, I lost my my chat box. There we go. I'm still in the process of updating some of these. But yeah, let me get back to this. Hold on 1 second. It really makes it tough when everything is so small on the stream. See, go gadget magnif. Yeah, thank you, Dolores. Yeah, I know, and Caddy brings up a great point too. The gloves, and before the glove, I also heard a mask.
Oh,
Yeah, but that wasn't by the house. They had found
okay.
the mask, but it wasn't by the house. And then this glove, just like Chris McDonough done. I always mess up his, the guy that talks like this.
Yes, that guy.
This guy, yes, that guy.
Mhm.
the glove. Oh, hey, I found a glove. Like, come on. Like, do you think let's picture this guy. I know that he's not a professional. We broke it down last night. That dude is not a professional that went and kidnapped. Like, there's no way. He didn't even
Mm.
I'm like thinking that it was just a random happening, honestly, with the way that he walked. Because that, like, even if you're going to, like, I don't know, that must have been his first time out there or something, and honestly didn't even think it through, because like that's like that's like you mess up your name on the form, on the
Yeah.
first spot, like you don't even spell your name right if that's what you were going to do. And but even with that, I still don't see this person, like, you know, as soon as they pull away with Nancy, they're like driving down the road, rolling down the window, screaming "F yeah!" taking out their glove and throwing it outside. I don't see that happening. I really don't.
Yeah.
So
Even I agree. Even for a guy who like couldn't, I don't know what he was doing. Couldn't bring his own plants to cover the camera or something. But I mean, I agree with you.
right? Yeah, just steal
Like,
flowers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He at least knows the purpose of the gloves and that he needs to take them with him. I think.
I it's especially even with the mask, but I mean I get it, you
Yeah.
got to call it in because it could be potential. It's Somebody could be that stupid.
Mm.
Some people do believe there are cotton balls at the bottom of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Um but at the same time, it's like I don't know why there's such a hoopla about it, you know. And it is interesting because last night we were listening to the live scanner, and you can go to the show last night, check it out. It's in the pretty close to the beginning of the show. That's when we heard over the live scanner that the description, we didn't know it at the time, but we were listening to the live grid search for that gentleman that got apprehended last night,
Mm-hmm.
because they made a comment. Yes, the report is that his eyes and eyelids match the description, and they were talking about blue jeans and all this stuff. And so it was kind of interesting, like knowing what happened throughout the night and overnight. We were actually listening live on the scanner, to that actual grid search happening. And it, like, it's the same kind of thing, when it comes to the glove. It's like, oh, the glove, it's probably the killer's. But it's like, yeah, just like the dude that was apprehended last night had the same freaking eyebrows, and all of a sudden he put, like, after he kidnapped Nancy, he like put Miracle Grow around his eyebrows to make sure they're nice and thick, after the kidnapping happened, just to disguise himself. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the way that the media, you're really seeing the clickbaitness take place, like all over, man. Just the like it. I understand, like, law enforcement needs to check it out, but it's got to be frustrating as hell for law enforcement to have to. Can you imagine all the tips that they get that are like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's already hard enough. They're already trying to find Nancy, and it just, I could imagine. I mean, I remember when we were out doing our searches, and all of the weird ass tips of people that
I
did
remember.
weren't even there, and they're like, you need to check this and this, and it's I'm like,
I
we're not
remember.
even here. Like, what are you talking? You know, it was really ridiculously crazy, the
Yeah.
amounts, and it was thousands a day. And it's just like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember people getting upset when like you didn't immediately do what they asked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like it's in some of the videos that I was watching that I set aside for today, comments about how this warrant what would have been obtained. Like, what could possibly be probable cause
I was
for what
assuming they
happened?
had. I was assuming the vehicle was part of the kidnapping, and there was blood in the back seat, and that's how they got the warrant. Even if it wasn't tested yet. Yep, there's blood drops in the back. Like that's. I was surprised to hear that they didn't even say. We're going to listen to the interview of what he says, and I was surprised to hear that they
Yeah,
did. They didn't even really talk to him.
I know.
They didn't even really ask him questions. Isn't that crazy? They just held him, went through the vehicle, went through the electronics, didn't discover anything, and basically let him go. Um,
Yeah.
and he just wants to clear his name. And I feel bad because like these bandmates of the son-in-laws being Ashley Banfield, just she's the one that created this mess in the first place because as soon as she came out saying the brother-in-law or the son-in-law and put his name and photo out there, law enforcement instantly came out and said we never said he was a suspect. And it goes along with the reckless reporting that she did in November 2022, December 2022, January 2023 regarding the Idaho 4 case and all the misinformation and wrong, quote, evidence coming from sources close to the investigation reports. Really, like, it's doing a disservice to these victims. And this is another instance because just like this guy that was wrongfully being put out there as this person that was part of this
Yeah.
crime. This son-in-law is too, and now the bandmates have become a part of it now too because as soon as those photos got released, then you had sleuthers that were like comparing the pictures of the bandmates to the person in the ski mask. And that's another thing. You know, did I look at the photo when I first noticed it? Yeah, I did. I looked at the bandmates photo, but did we put it on there? Did we put their names on there? Did we show their Facebook profiles? Did we show their families? Did we do any of that stuff? No. I
Yeah.
mean, these people are that could be their livelihood. That band could be the reason that they put food on the table for their children. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's a number of terrible things that can happen to a person. Being accused by the public of something like this is one of them, and also losing your mother-in-law right now, that's also terrible. So imagine just adding to what they're already going through. And I mean, I'm not saying that there is or isn't any validity to what was said. Like, maybe they considered him briefly. I don't know. Like, I couldn't. Maybe he's involved.
Well,
Maybe he isn't.
they
I
had
doubt it.
to. They had
Yeah,
to. They were the quote last ones to see her.
right. But at the
They
same time, that's not. It's not the public's place to get involved with that. Not definitely not at this point. That's for sure. And I think when it comes to people like Ashley Banfield, I mean, I feel like there's this attitude of, I'll just say sorry later if I'm wrong. Like, I just want to go with it now, instead of maybe I should check, maybe I should make sure. But it's like this eagerness to be first, or I don't know what it is, but
Oh,
it's
she went on all these other talk shows after that came out. She went on all these other talk shows. Her viewership subs went through the freaking roof. Um,
mm,
she's on all these different shows with the plaid lumberjack. You know, just just doing the FaceTime and making the appearances. Like I got the just like with the Idaho 4 stuff. I got sources close to the investigation, and it was a nightly bomb drop. And it's just like, do these people? I, it's just crazy to me. It's like, where's the concern and the compassion for others?
yeah.
You can still eat your food, but do you really got to cook it that way?
Yeah, yeah, and in addition to that, I mean, we can criticize law enforcement. Obviously, we will because they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes and all of that. But you still have to have respect for the investigation. The investigation should always come first, not your story or being first in insulting the police, who some of them are standing around. But I mean, it's not your investigation. Like, criticize without interfering is what I would say. I mean, she seems very out of hand to me.
It's I feel so bad for Nancy and her family because they deserve way. I mean, the fact that this has gone on this long, you know.
Mhm.
Thank God the FBI came in.
Mhm.
Like seriously, it
Yeah.
because the way that this case was being handled, it
Yeah.
when you're talking about a missing person, those the not just for murders, the first 48 hours is critical. It's especially critical for missing persons cases because you add that much time and that could be so much more farther away they are from where they began. And that is when you're trying to track somebody, you're already behind time because you're behind them. You have to find them. You're
Yeah.
already behind time. And the fact that they just sat back and just let this thing go day after day after day after day after day. And I want to bring this up real quick, and this is why I am so passionate and upset about no ground search happening, regardless if it's law enforcement or the general public. You know, the fact that this whole time we had, even you and me in the background, we had discussed this, and I had said, I had felt that it was a professional, right? The whole Bitcoin, the agencies can't find out where it's coming from. To me, it seemed like a very professional, type contract, so to speak. And it seemed, as we started to talk about it more and dig into some more things, it started to seem like there was a higher power slash, government slash Epstein involvement, that came into it. But when that video came out and I saw that person, and as soon as I seen it, I, I could instantly tell that they weren't a professional because they ended up on camera. Number one, you ended up on camera. Number two, I noticed that they didn't case the place out because if they would have, I mean, when you look at that house, you could have, there's so many spots. Even if there's cameras, there are so many spots because of the darkness, the foliage, the distance between any other property. There's so many different things. And so when you see that person and they walk up and they kind of like, at a couple seconds later, notice the camera and go to cover it with their hand, I'm like, there's no way they case this place out. So to me, it was either this was random opportunity. They just stumbled across this house, and that's what took place. Or if this was a quote purposeful abduction, well, it was very, very. I wouldn't even say rookie. It's not even rookie level what they did, and so that led me to believe at that point, because the whole time I had thought that Nancy was probably down in a basement somewhere. They took her medication with them and they took the medical devices with them. So whatever she needed to, you know, continue, they brought with. Okay, so they brought the stuff with to make sure that she had her meds and was comfortable. But after I watched that video, to me, you see that blood on the ground. Uh, it, I don't know with that amount of blood. I'm assuming that's not going to stop real quick unless somebody applies something to it. And then even if you have to think about the age and also the medication and how there was probably high blood pressure medication, which thins the blood, which makes it harder for it to clot, which makes it harder for the blood to stop, the bleeding to stop. So then that brings in concerns in my mind of maybe they weren't able to stop that kind of bleeding, because there's one specific spot we're going to go into in a little bit where I'm like, damn, that would be a hard spot to stop the bleeding. Uh, Based off of what we're looking at. And so to me it was almost like, after seeing that video and putting all that stuff together, I kind of went from she could be out somewhere in the bushes, and I went from like very small percentage to last night going 60-40. Like, she probably could be out in those bushes, because if they show up like that, it's not very professional, it's not thought out, it's not planned. Everything is going to be a reaction based off of emotion that's mixed in of what's going on in the atmosphere. And if you approach things that way, you're basing your decisions off of emotions instead of replay. And when you base your decisions off of emotions, you make mistakes. And mistakes can happen. And the mistakes that can happen during this is that they couldn't stop the bleeding. Them, whoever, might not have been able to stop the bleeding. Especially with looking at that, you see the sloppiness of it. It would be reaction, emotion based. I could see them doing something maybe after they did it and going, fuck, why did I do that? Like, it could be a lot of that stuff going on. And so that's one of the reasons why I hate to see that no ground searches still have been done, because it's like, you know what, Nancy, and I hate to say it and I hate to think it, but you got to be realistic based off of what the evidence is showing us each day. And with that evidence that was displayed yesterday, I have to be real. And it's like, come on, man. What if she has been laying out in these fields somewhere, mixed in with wildlife, God forbid, and nobody got off their tail to do a grid search? It's horrible to think.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, I mean, I think that they knew from early on that that was a possibility. And I think that they could have actually put their efforts into search and recovery like straight away, just based on, like, I know it's difficult to say, but just based on the fact that she is very vulnerable and she's very, she's elderly and stuff like that. I, I think that they could have had some stronger leads, at least on a direction by now, had they started sooner.
Yeah, great point. Can you imagine how much farther along? And think about how much they, in the last 2 days that have happened, the progress, the information. If that could have happened day one, day two, and day three, like, could you imagine what day 11 would be, where they would be? I'm,
Yeah.
they would probably be apprehended already. And then, and I hate to say this too, we're talking getting close to a week and a half now. The chances of her being alive drastically go down. We're talking analytics, percentages, statistics. It's already drastically down. And each day more, it just continues to go into the single digit percentile. That's the, and it, and if we could have been here on day three, you know what that percentile is damn near 80%.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just it almost seems so much worse when it's somebody who's elderly. I know that every case matters, but I've said this before. Like, for somebody so vulnerable, the level of effort, I don't know. I really don't.
It's disheartening because this is what this is what you're supposed to do. It's why you took the job. Nobody said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to make you do this." You chose to do it. Just like all of us choose whatever career or path
Yeah.
that we're on. We chose to do it. We didn't have to. We could have chose this or that or this, that. This is what we chose. And so, just like with the dangers that I chose to go through when I was doing my work, it's the same thing with other work, you know. Uh, but you have to be about what you're working for. And if you're working for the victims, the families, and the communities for the justice, then you need to approach it that way. You know, it's just crazy to see like it and all the different places that we went to in the last 3 years, from one side of the country to the other, nonstop. The first day we were doing searches, the first day, and then by day 3 or 4, we're already connecting with other crews that are local, and we're starting to assist and do other things, and also do our work, with footage and things like that. And so it's you get the ball rolling as soon as you're there, because that's what it's about. If it really is, that's what you're about, because um, that's why you're there. That's that's the whole reason why you're there. So hopefully, hopefully she's found. I hate to see it. When I sat back last week and I'm like, okay, Wednesday night, I didn't even think that this would even be a discussion anymore. And look,
Right.
I figured they would have found out. There was communication, whatever, whatever, and there would have been some kind of solution, where something could have been worked out. And I don't know. It's just unfortunate that we're talking about, you know, one Bitcoin and a glove, and pretty much the video of the person. But you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I understand what you mean. I also like this time last week. I also thought that this case was gonna resolve. Like it didn't seem like something that was gonna have all of these twists and turns and just keep going. But I mean, it's just crazy. Everything that's happened, like especially since just yesterday, everything that's happened has been like a complete double take on this case. Is CJ frozen or am I frozen? Can you guys hear me? Just let me know if it's me. I don't know. Oh, it's me. I mean, not me. All right. I'm sure that CJ will be right back. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to go through chat a little. Yeah, I agree with you, Busby. It really is sad. I I don't know. I mean, look, I don't want to be attacking law enforcement either, but like I mean, everything we've just said does speak for itself, and this is an elderly woman. Hello. It's so good to see you all as well. CJ will be right back as soon as he can. And we have a lot for you guys. I went through the playlist yesterday or your guys' is earlier today for the show. There's a lot. So, what is everyone's thoughts on this so far? There we go. You see, I told you. We'll be right back. Yeah. So, one thing that I do find really interesting when it comes to Carlos is that question of like that we had before, like what exactly, like I that's something I cannot get my head around yet. Like what were they doing? Like what did they think they knew that they would do that? Look, maybe there still is something, but it's just odd. I don't know if I've actually seen that before, where they just detain someone for 2 hours. I did see an expert or somebody on, I think it was on Court TV, saying that they thought that maybe they were just detaining him because they were worried that he would be difficult when they wanted to take things from the house. So they were just doing that literally to get him out of the way for a bit, which seems, I don't know, very, maybe not the most ethical. I don't know. What do you guys think? Busby says, you think they didn't search the area fast enough? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I get that it's difficult terrain and all of that, but I mean, they are local law enforcement. They should be prepared to have to search. They just should be. Like, there isn't really an excuse for that. Like, they can't say they're not familiar with the area. It's their precinct or jurisdiction or whatever. They definitely didn't search fast enough. And I mean, the evidence as well as just the chances of finding her, they like they diminish immediately. I didn't think they thought it through before detaining him. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, you'd think they would. And I get this stuff we don't know, but I mean, really, I don't know. I know that a lot of people have said that when they look at the footage of the guy on the camera, that it looks like Carlos, but I don't see how anyone could possibly, like, you can maybe pick out a couple things and be like, yeah, okay, that's similar, but how can you know? Like, tell me how. How can you don't think they have enough evidence yet? Yeah, well, I mean, that's why they wanna look at things like he said they took his phone, right? Or his mother-in-law said that. I don't know. I think they took her phone. I just hope they have a reason. And Stone says, Ellie seems very lax or like not trained properly lately. Yeah, I don't know what that is about exactly. I don't know if it's like to do with the fact that there's, because of technology and stuff, there's so much more attention on them, or if it's a new phenomenon, or if maybe like crime and crime syndicates and stuff are getting more sophisticated in that way. There's several mountain ranges near that area. Ah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you're familiar with the area. I've like this is the first I've seen of it. The footage that we're seeing now for this case. It does. I mean, it looks like a difficult, harsh environment, but it's also really beautiful there. Have we looked at the pics of the blood on the walkway? I just put my kids down and have been listening. We haven't yet. So we're just waiting for CJ. If CJ doesn't come back soon, I'm just going to start the playlist. And I'll just put on a video, like one of the quick ones that just me and you guys can go through while we're waiting for CJ. But no, we haven't. We've hardly covered anything yet. We've done a little bit of an intro. And that is it. So you haven't missed anything. Yes, don't worry. Do not worry. That is interesting, the blood, though. I noticed in CJ's show yesterday, he was talking about the one stain. Good night, John. Yeah, I haven't looked at it again, but I have heard people saying that there were still flowers there. I don't know if they were on top, but I don't remember seeing anything in the video. And of course, we haven't seen the inside of the scene, so we don't really know. Like, that scenario out there in front of the house is a continuation of something, or it's preceding something. And if we haven't seen the inside, we don't really know how it connects. But they have said that they've confirmed that blood on the scene belongs to Nancy. So, I mean, that does tell you a lot. Yes, there are a few stains with flowers on top. Oh, that is interesting. Another thing is that we don't really know how those, like the videos that the FBI put out of the guy on the porch or stoop or whatever you guys call it, like we don't know how they're connected to one another. So we can kind of see that there's an order, but we also don't really know the time in the night. If that one screenshot where he looks like he's dressed a little differently, if that's from a little earlier, a little later. We have no idea yet. And I mean, I think that they're probably going to put out some more footage. Yeah, the times will tell us a lot. Porch or stoop. Okay, sorry, stoop. Stoop. Is that right? Okay, let me check on CJ and then maybe we'll go through a video. Okay. Okay. Apologies, guys, for me being a little slow. I didn't have anything pulled up to play yet. So give me 1 sec. Okay, so you can see all of that. And then this video is about 13 minutes long, so I think that'll give CJ enough time to come back. I'll try hotspot off. Sorry it's taking so long. That is okay. We're about to watch this video from the beginning of our playlist. It says, everything about this case is shocking and so heartbreaking, which is certainly true. I'm going to pause it a lot for fair use, guys.
Breaking new developments on the frantic search for Nancy Guthrie. Officials confirming that one of the ransom notes sent to the media has a 5 p.m. deadline today. Now, it's unclear what time zone that is. They also confirmed that the blood found on her porch does in fact belong to Nancy Guthrie. Last night, the family made an emotional plea for her safe return. And earlier, the Pima County Sheriff gave some hope that Nancy Guthrie is still alive.
We believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock.
Sorry, I've been talking, but I was muted. So this is from a while ago, this video, and I posted all of the information about the video. You can see that it's from the 6th of February, right? And this was like way before what we know now. But it was kind of at the beginning when people were starting to look at the Sheriff Nanos, and think, is everything okay here? Let me say. So that's a bit of context to this.
And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this.
Jonathan Hunt is standing by in Tucson. He has the latest news update for us. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Dana. What we did not get today were answers to the biggest, most important questions. Where is Nancy Guthrie? Who has her under their control right now? What we did get was a lot of new granular detail about the timeline leading up to her disappearance. The fact that she had dinner with family members believed to be her daughter Annie and Annie's husband Tommaso on Saturday.
Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt him, but he's talking slowly. So this, I think, is a really good recap of the timeline. Just like if you're coming to the case a little bit later, or if you need to remember, how everything started, because so much has happened. I think this really does help, because it gives us a little bit of a time frame. I don't know if you can see my mouse pointer, but it gives us a bit of a time frame over here on, like contextualizing the new footage that we've seen. So like when it says here 2:12 a.m. software detects person on camera, and it says no video available because there's no subscription, and we know that the FBI has obtained that. So are we to assume that what we're seeing there is this exact time here? I think that's kind of interesting, because we haven't really been told about the times. So it would be interesting to know.
Night. And then this fascinating 41-minute critical time period beginning at 1:47 a.m. on Sunday. That is when her doorbell camera was disconnected. And then around 2:12, something was captured. They believe it was a person on another camera. What they don't know is where the video from that is. There may not, in fact, be any video from that moment, but the camera detected something. And then at 2:28, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker that she Apple Watch and her iPhone. So the assumption, obviously, is that is the point at which she was taken from her home. But the big question, who has her? The sheriff says no answers to that. Listen.
At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
What a
Hey,
dumb
CJ.
state.
Yeah, so I don't know if I know you haven't had time to read the notes I sent, because I sent them a bit late, but I wrote that timestamp in the notes, and I just wrote there, sheriff being weird, because I don't know what is he talking about there. It sounds almost to me like he's trying to be likable, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. trying to see, I don't know, trying to seem like, you know, we're doing everything we can, even though they, we've already discussed it tonight. They aren't and haven't, but trying to give that impression like they're trying to do everything they can. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, are you good to watch this video? It's only 13 minutes.
Busby has a question real quick. How can you disconnect the Ring doorbell unless you rip it out? So it's a specific, it's like a Nest camera, but each camera has its own specific screwdriver. So, like if you had a set of screwdriver bits that you could, how you can get those sets that have all those different weird ass shapes, you could probably, you might strip out some of it, but you could probably get away with using that. But each company has its own specific like screwdriver type deal. Because with that type of camera that would be on the front door, it would typically be held in with a couple screws that would attach it. Now, when you look at Brian Enton's video and it shows the attachment that the camera was attached to, it didn't look very sturdy to begin with. Honestly, it looked like somebody just threw it up there real quick just to get it up there and didn't really take any concern as to if somebody were to do something like this, and that is one of the reasons to have it, that this could happen. It wasn't really secured that well. And so, with the way you'll see, it's kind of like on the molding around the door frame, and it's just not in a good spot, and it's not even it wasn't even well anchored to the wall there outside. So, yeah, when it comes to disconnect, if you mean it as to how does the Ring doorbell camera disconnect and not record anymore, that's where the person that committed this mistake, because with kind of like with what I talked about a little bit ago, when it comes to the server and how the server for the company always has the clips or whatever, right? Well, here's the thing. If you have the subscription, you can scroll back days, weeks, months of everything, every little motion that takes place, recorded audio, everything. If you have the subscription. If you don't have this subscription, well, then it just will sit there and record all of those things that would have been stored on that camera. It still records the stuff like it would have been stored on your own device, but really it's still stored to the company that owns the camera stuff and the network. Okay. So the way to get it to disconnect is these are ran off of Wi-Fi. So if you take that camera, like that, this is where they messed up. They took the camera and brought it with them. And once they got, like, depending on her internet network, once they got 20 feet away from the house, it probably dropped from the network. And so therefore that camera is not going to continue to record to the network. And so the last recording for that specific camera that went to the network and the cloud server is the last time that it recorded any movement on that camera. And so that's why I said The video that we did see of them walking up there and grabbing it, they didn't release. There's got to be a lot more video, because I guarantee you, if it's in your pocket, it's moving. Any slight movement is going to make that thing continue to record audio and video. So whether it was recording a conversation between the person and Nancy, whether it was recording, because if it's in their pocket or whatever, it can literally be still recording the whole abduction taking place. Like, there's so much potential extra video that is not out there. And that's where this person made the mistake, because if they would have just left the camera, it would have continued to record cars driving by. It would have continued to record a newspaper getting delivered. It would have continued. And think, with the fact that local law enforcement didn't even try and get this footage until FBI did a couple days ago. Can you imagine all of the different things that would have taken over that cloud server, that then, because of by default, it shoves out whatever's at the bottom, it shoves it out because it only has an allotted amount of space. So as it's recording, people driving by, kids walk, people walking their dogs, all these different things, that just takes that footage of the current, what we do see, and it could actually been pushed out into never land, and we would have never got it. So that's where they made the mistake, because if they would have just left it, it would have continued to record all of those things, and there could have been a chance that it might not have been there by the time law enforcement was there to retrieve it. But they grabbed it. It potentially has the abduction on recorded audio, whether it's in the pocket or not. It potentially has the abduction on there. It potentially has any kind of conversation. It potentially has this person's voice. It potentially has so many other things. And that's where they made that mistake. That's why I say it's beyond rookie. If you're really going to do this, you're going to take the time to learn. It just doesn't make any sense. What's up, Tech Death? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so this doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry about the internet dropping out. I don't know what happened. I was waiting for it to pop back on. It never popped back on. I tried to do my mobile hotspot like I used to back in the day, and that wasn't working. So then I'm like, well, let me try and reboot the network and see if that works. And then if that don't work, then I got to try and figure out this hotspot. The rebooting of the network works, so I'm back. So I apologize. I missed what you were playing on the screen or what you were even discussing. So I apologize. So what's up since I got booted?
No, so we were just going through one of the videos from early on. I think it's from the 6th of February, just from the playlist, because this was something that had, firstly, it had a catch up of the timeline from a while ago, but then it also had some of the early statements from the sheriff that I personally found really strange. So I thought it was a good.
Well, okay, so since you played it already, what did you think was strange from the statements, besides what I kind of dipped into when I came back and he was just trying to take any kind of focus off of their strategic efforts that were taking place in the very beginning, or lack thereof, I should say. What do you think about the statements? What statements stuck out to you, and what do you think about the statements and why they were made?
So all of his statements kind of stand out the same way to me, in the sense that it sounds to me like he's always trying to not answer the question that's been asked. It's almost like he sounds like he's trying to get out of the question. And it's not necessarily that he's being dishonest in his answer, but sometimes he's a little shifty in what he's trying to say. So if they say to him, for instance, are there suspects in this case? And then he can say something like, No, there aren't, but at the same time, I don't want to tell you there aren't because what if, there are? Like, what? Like, he
It's
hasn't said
like
exactly that.
it's exactly what Tech Death is saying. It's because of ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the impression that I got of him. And I just from the beginning it's been a little I think that's why people started to take so much interest in this case. It's just because they were like, what is actually going on?
Yeah. He's so unorganized, he doesn't even care to get a haircut.
True.
Look at his hair. It's like, dude, at least cut your hair. It's like people who don't shave, it's just come on, you got let's put ourselves together a little better, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I got a little bit of scruff right here, but I'll be shaving tomorrow. You know, it's cold. I let a day
Mhm.
go by and
We understand.
it's cold for a baby face out in this weather.
Oh.
I had the beard when the beards weren't cool, and then when I started shaving my face, and all of a sudden beards were in, and I'm like, fuck it, I just got done having a beard for like 10 years. I'm not doing it anymore. Uh, so, hey, it's tough for a baby face out in this cold weather. All right, so the glove, the cap slash mask. I want to get. What's up, Yoli? I want to get to the blood. All right. When we were watching this video last night, as soon as I seen this, I instantly was like, I gotta have Rosie on to talk about this blood. All right.
Mhm.
Let me. Is it cool to do that, or is there something else?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is that all right?
We were waiting for you. We didn't want to
Well,
discuss the blood or anything until you were ready.
okay. Well, let me see. Would you want me to show the video of Brian Etten, or would you like me to just show a couple screenshots?
I think can we do both? Can we do the
Oh,
screenshots first?
hold on a second. Tech Death. So, are you familiar with this dude? He said he's always been this way in prior cases. Control freak, micromanages everything. Really? So you're familiar with the sheriff? Interesting.
Yeah.
See, he does kind of look familiar. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
He does kind of look familiar, though. What Tech Death is he covered other like what other? I'm trying to think of. Trying to think of what other. He does look familiar, so maybe I'm just not remember. There's so many damn cases in my head. All right. All right. So let me go up to this. Let's pull up. Let me see. There's one close-up video, and then there's one that is kind of far away, but it's the one's like an actual close-up. So let me find this video. We'll play it real quick, and then I do have a couple screenshots that we can switch to.
Okay.
Once we get to those spots. Sorry. Okay, drone. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to show the one where it's like a longer one where it shows him walking up to the door. Okay, so we're going to get like the outside view first, so you get the kind of surroundings because it can look a little different with the close up. So we'll give you the outside surroundings, and then we'll move in to the close up, and then we'll kind of like examine these pictures and talk about them. I don't know what is going on with my. Am I still here?
You're still here.
Okay, because it's feeling like I'm losing my connection again.
Okay, well, everything sounds good so far. Tech Death says he was on TV all the time.
He was on TV all the time.
He ran that case where Congressman.
That's right. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That was wow, that was a few years ago. That's right. It was yeah, cuz wasn't that live on TV or something? I don't know what's going on with this video. Why is it not loading? I don't
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that case.
um here. Can I send you a Twitter link? I don't know what is going on. Here,
Just email me.
email or can I drop it in private chat in here?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Here's that. That's the video. Let's see. That's the video that is the far back. And here, let me see if. Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay. I don't know.
You
For
okay?
some reason, I had to. Yeah, for some reason, I had to like refresh the whole thing. Okay, let me see here. Let me switch this. We'll bring this up. All right. And I don't know why it does that when I don't want it to. All right. So we're going to bring it up. Well, I was. All right. So that's the close up. Let me go. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I apologize.
No problem. Sorry. On mine, it's making me log into Twitter again for some reason.
Yeah, it's being. Just 1 second. Come on. It's just. I'm having to open new Twitter pages just to try and get it to work. There we go. Okay. My gosh. That's this. Hold on. That's the short one. I need the long one. Okay, here we go. My lord. The technical bugs tonight. All right. No, this is the short one. What'd they do? Take the longer one down? That can't be. The one that I sent you is the longer one. Let me try and click on that and see if it works this way. It's not working. Oh, it's not the internet. It's just this video. It's not loading. All right. I guess we'll go to the one that's a close up because the one that's farther away isn't available right now for some reason. Okay. Why is it not showing it on this screen? It's not showing it. What is going on with everything?
Yeah.
It's not even. Can you let me know if you can hear it? Oh, there's no audio. Okay, maybe I gotta back out of StreamYard. I don't know. StreamYard creates a lot of freaking bugs.
Yeah.
I guess let me try that. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. Oh, they were on shows of live PD as well, Busby? That's so strange. I understand that we're all here to like view the police work, but it still feels weird to me, this kind of idea of, I don't know, having a reality show about it. I don't know.
Okay. I apologize. It's not showing it. Why is it not showing this? Okay, is it going to show this? It's not showing it. What is going on?
Is it your network again? Because your sound is a little choppy now, or a little tunnely.
I mean, it's everything sounds fine to me, but it probably would. It was sounding fine to me, and I didn't notice it was gonna boot me last time, so it's hard for me to tell. Because the music will sound the same to me because I'm hosting it, so it's always gonna be playing whether I'm live or not. You know what I mean? So there's no way for me to really tell. I
Let me try it again.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Maybe I have to. I know sometimes StreamYard creates issues with the browser. So any other videos and any of that other stuff, for some reason, it like messes up your browser. It's such a pain in the butt. They come out with these updates all the time that aren't really worth a shit, and they just create. I don't know what to do. Will it show? Okay, now what the heck was that? I had to do this for it to show up. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
30 minutes later, more technical. I thought we got away from the technical issues after the weekend, but apparently not. Okay, finally. Here we go. Let's get back to these comments real quick. Let me see here. He was on TV all the time. Pima County was on shows of live PD as well. Speaking of, we need to do a BPD Open Patrol live sometime soon. And I'm sure you're probably not enjoying all the technical issues, and I do apologize. But if you are enjoying the stream, please hit the like. Make sure to subscribe and come back for another show that doesn't have all the technical bugs, or you can check out our show from last night. All right.
It's fine.
Yeah, also YouTube is buggy. Speaking of bugs, the chat it just defaults to top chat no matter what I change it to. So just make sure you hit the settings button in the chat side and make sure the chat is on all chat or live chat and not top chat, because top chat cuts out a lot of other people's comments. Pima County and Pinal County. I love Sheriff Slam work he did. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Yoli said the sheriff came off as trying to be likable. Sheriffs are elected. They are elected. That is true. Yeah, they are. Let me see here. They are elected officials. Yeah, they are like a person. Yeah, they do. They go out and they campaign, and yeah. So they do have to try and come off like they're fighting justice and are likable at the same. There's a lot of financial influence as well. You'll get donors and things like that, and you got to be buddy with the city officials and stuff, and you go attend parties and ha 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 with everybody, the fake stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody has a reality show. Shout out Cowboys. It's been a while since a case grabbed me like this. It's a damn movie in real time. Yes. And yes, a
Yeah.
really slow movie at that. A great way to put it, too. Especially with how we still don't have any ground grid searches. And I wish the public would kind of step up and take initiative, since the local law enforcement don't want to. Oh, we'll wait for her to hop back in, and then we'll go through this video here. I believe the next election for sheriff is in 2 years. Yeah, I'm not really sure. All right, she must be having technical issues now. Unless it's StreamYard. Yeah, so with this whole this blood splatter, I'm really... Oh, it's fine, Rosie. This is what really concerns me is... let me see. Oh my gosh, is it not going to work now? That right there, these two spots. Here, I should probably... It won't let me change the video settings. Oh my lord, what is going on with everything here? It won't let me change the video settings. I'm in full screen. Is it working? I don't understand what's going on here. Well, this one... Okay, here we go. This one will work for some reason. Okay, share tab. Let's pull this up. All right, now I got it at 0.25. Let's mute that. Okay. I mean, it's a lot of blood. You're seeing that spot right there. This right here is concerning. I mean, it's all concerning, but those two spots right there are very concerning. I thought he was gonna I thought he was gonna have a press conference a couple days ago, and I was shocked to see that nothing was taking place. But it looks like they showed up and they were like, "Yo, we need this footage," and they were able to get it. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there because my internet's fine. So.
Is it? Well, I don't know. StreamYard.
Yeah.
Not working right. All right. So this one is the close-up, and that's the 8-second clip. This is the one that's a little clearer. And so when you're looking at these two spots specifically, this, because there's a lot of these, but this clump right here, and really this one right there, hold on, that one right there is just... That one's scary to me, Rosie, because I kind of, when I was looking at it last night, I was like, at first, I really just noticed the drops, because everything was live. It was coming out so quick. I just kind of watched it real quick, and there was so much stuff coming, and I was trying to stay on top of everything. And last night we were kind of looking through this video at 0.25 speed, and that's when I really saw like this right here. And what I really want to focus on with you is I'm going to get a photo so I can zoom it in, because you may not be able to see it right now, but when I zoom it in, um, you're gonna see what's really concerning to me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I really want to hear um, what you have to say. So let me stop this. Let me switch to this. All right, so we're gonna zoom it in. Okay, so this is that spot we were just looking at.
Yeah. So
This right here. These darker clumps that are mixed in with all of the splatter. It's like it came out of the mouth.
I'm not sure what that is. The
Like
darker
like
part.
well, it's almost like blood that started to clot very quickly, you know? The darker small chunks. And to me, it looks like somebody spit that out of their mouth because you got the large drops and then you got all these little teeny tiny mist pattern spots of blood. So it's like a mist. So when you zoom it back, you can, it's like a, and I'll show you the video and it shows more. It's like a mist. So that's why I felt like somebody maybe pistol whipped her in the nose, the mouth, and the blood got, the blood rushed into the mouth and it, you had parts of it that, was already like dried up, clotty, and that was the beginning of where the blood was coming through. Like it started to clot right away as soon as whatever injury happened, but the blood was just coming. So that semi started clotting started to happen before. And then I feel like it, like it filled up in their mouth and they spit it out. And you get that chunk, but also you get that mist, with the.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'm not an expert on this.
Right.
What I can say is that it's not a result of gravity. Like all of the others that you look at, those are droplets. So it's probably to do with somebody where it's just dripping. And that can be coming out of the nose or mouth or off a
Those are
weapon
big.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're big droplets too.
But this is definitely something different where I would say it has something, like, in my very unprofessional opinion, but from what I've seen, I'd say that this has something to do with a high impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear an expert say that it was better that it's not on the wall. That would be more concerning if it was on the walls. And I kind of understand why, but at the same time, I think that the scenario that you're thinking about is probably correct in the sense that this was the source of the injury, and the other stains are droplets that are coming off that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happened, I'm assuming, started here. This was the beginning of it, and then there was movement from there after the injury. And I don't know why it abruptly stopped, but I think, I mean, of course, it's definitely possible that this is coming from the mouth. I think usually when it comes from the mouth, it is diluted a bit, with spit and stuff like that, but you can't really tell from this picture. We also don't really know what's going on inside the house, which
Well,
would help to add.
that would include with the mist aspect of it because that would dilute the blood enough to create a mist effect. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, this could be an injury. It's resulting in some kind of spray. But I mean, all I can really say from this point is that this was something to do with impact. This was not,
yeah,
I don't think this was like somebody who had a bloody nose from the heat. I feel like whatever it is, it started there at that point from impact.
And I'm kind of under the theory that it happened on the way out.
Yes, I think so. Just
Uh,
because, sorry,
Go ahead.
just because of the direction of it. So it's not exactly like that's happening at the end of the walkway and that somebody turned around and started walking back and then there's drips thereafter. It feels like from that point there was movement outward.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking that, they gained access and you're in a shock phase at that point, and so they push past you, I feel like this was them dragging her out. Like she let them get whatever they wanted to get, thinking that they were going to leave the house afterwards. And so I think this came from I think she was fighting them to not go,
Mhm.
and that's when they had to hit her to get her to cooperate, and then all of this stuff took place. I know some people are saying that this is dirt chunks, but I want to show you guys something. When you're looking at this spot right here, you have the same, this right here that I have this little hand over is the same as these, but this was spit down. This over here came down, but at a angle, and that's why you see this little clotty with the drip of blood coming after it, is because it was coming down at an angle. So that's why they concern me a lot more, because now when you look at that photo, right now, when you look at this photo, you see these were straight down. This one over here is at an angle. You see the angle of the blood splatter from the clotty going in the direction of somebody spitting down, and that fluid going to an angle. And they are the same type of consistency when it comes to these little clotty chunks right here
Yes.
and this one right here. So that's why, I know some people are thinking it might be dirt, and that's cool. I'm certainly not an expert either. But at the same time, I'm looking at the consistencies of everything around, and that right there, there's the consistency right there, and that is very concerning to me, because if it was dirt, then obviously there's still somebody that spits something, and that's why I feel again that this came from the mouth, because of the mist splatter that is not consistent with all of this right here. um, and so when you're thinking about that injury, it's not good. That means there's a lot of bleeding going on, and that's why I was maybe concerned that these people weren't prepared to even be in a situation where they had to stop somebody from bleeding.
Yeah. Yeah. And to look, I know a lot of people have said that this is some kind of like a cast off pattern and that, there was that it was coming off a weapon or something like that. I, again, not an expert. There's not much directionality to these stains, which is why I think that it is definitely, like you're saying, some kind of an impact stain. It's just whatever happened, and I don't necessarily know about the darker parts, but I think that whatever happened, it was definitely. I think the scenario you're thinking about is probably quite likely. I just can't understand
Yeah,
why it. Yeah.
they're trying to make her go with. She's fighting them, trying to. She's making noise because she doesn't want to go. They don't want the attention, and they want her cooperation. So he probably took the pistol out of his waist and smacked her across the face with it, and she instantly, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not, look, I'm
broken
not
nose.
sure, but I think that the droplets that are coming afterwards do kind of indicate that she is still upright, still
Yeah,
walking.
and the
Yeah.
the size of the droplets, if the size of the droplets, if they're that big, you would, if it was coming from an injury that was somewhere else, in my opinion, other than the nose, you would see more of a trail drip and not necessarily drops. You would see like an actual consistent stream of some, of blood that would indicate that type of blood loss and a direction of movement. This is more, yes, it's large amounts of blood loss because those drops are huge, but it's not like it's drops. It's not a consistent flow that is dropping that amount of blood in a specific spot. That's why it just leads me
Yes.
to believe nose and mouth injury
Y-
with the blood.
Yeah, so what you're not seeing is you're not seeing pooling at any point, which I think is, I mean, in terms of just what happened, I think that's probably a good thing. I think that pooling would indicate that she was like stationary at one spot and bleeding quite a lot there. So, I mean, it's not the most alarming. I think that she walked off from it. They're like 90-degree drops. So I get why people are saying, oh, it's just a bloody nose, but also it's concerning with that impact at the beginning there.
Yeah, because being on, like I said before, being on blood thinners, um, it's going to be really hard for you to. It's going to be really hard for you to stop the bleeding.
Right.
And I go back to how this criminal approached the house and how it's not even a rookie level of how they approached it. And and you mix that in with, okay, well, they probably didn't plan it out, think about all situations that could come, pre-plan for that, like there's none of these things that would have taken place. And so when you have, who, like, if you didn't plan on any cameras being at the house, then do you think that they planned on somebody bleeding and not being able to stop the blood? No.
Honestly, I don't think they planned on anything. Like, I don't think they thought about it.
No, I don't either, and that's what really that's why it went from like 10-15% of me thinking, like 85-90% she's in the basement, 10-15 she's in the somewhere by bushes, to, now all of a sudden after this new evidence came out yesterday with the videos and stuff like that, and it's like, like I said, the whole time I thought this was professional. And then once I seen that video, I instantly knew this isn't even rookie level. So that really made me concerned. And that's what made me go to 60-40 that she's more likely somewhere around bushes instead of being in a basement now. Because if they didn't take the time to plan any of this. They definitely didn't take the time to plan any of what could happen, like somebody not being able to stop somebody's bleeding or something, or even having to do that kind of injury to somebody. Um,
Yeah.
how, what are you going to do if you can't get her to stop bleeding? You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to let, God forbid she passed away. It's not like you're going to hang out with her after that. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
gonna, and again, that's why ground searches should have been done from day one. And people, even from the general public that are out there standing there, just like this is some TV show, get off your fucking ass and go out and look for this poor woman because she very well could be in the damn bushes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously it would be more helpful to know what's going on inside as well.
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm going to check that out in a second. I want to just bring up this point about this door camera, and
Mhm.
then we'll get back to these the dirt and the rocks and stuff like that, because we'll show the other video too. Um, thank you for bringing that up, Stone. Now, you see this right here. All right. You see the little divot things right here? Oh, it's not. Hold on. Okay, now my thing's showing. You see the little divot things right here? All right, on this.
Mhm.
So this camera, number one, it was horrible. It like that's a horrible place. Okay.
Right?
Like that is
Yeah.
so easy. This is how the person was able to take it off. They literally just grabbed it and pushed it off to the side and was able to rip it out. They obviously, whoever installed this obviously didn't do a very good job because it, even though you can get that, it's still basically, you see like a little bit of this, there's a little bit of rip out from when they, I don't know if you can see it. Let me pull up a photo and I'll zoom it in for you. Let me see here. Let's see, screenshot. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you see there's a little bit of rip out right here.
Mhm.
Okay. A little bit of rip out. Now, that is caused when somebody twists that thing. Now, whether they use their weapon, the butt, to knock it off, which I doubt they did, because then you're generating a lot of force and you're also creating a lot of sound. So I don't see them using any kind of anything to sit there and hit that to make it come off. This is why I say it was installed shitty, because they would have grabbed it and pushed and twisted, and that would have popped that camera off. Now, this is the good part about this camera being so skinny, right? Is that easily fits in somebody's pocket. That easily fits in somebody's pocket and moves around a lot, which creates a longer recording. So when you see, this is why I say there's probably a lot of other footage that's not even out that continued, and it could have, you know, you slipped that in your pocket, it could have continued, you could have recorded the whole abduction audio wise if it's in the pocket. You know what's being said, you know how it goes down. But this right here, if it was installed properly, you would see a lot more rip out, and it wouldn't just be from one side. This right here didn't take any damage. This part right here, no damage to it. This is how you know it was installed crappy, because there should have been a lot more damage than this, and you should have seen this down here as well. This right here, this is pretty much in the same spot as where it's installed, and that is sad when it comes to somebody being able to rip that camera off. Very sad. Okay, I did want to bring that up. Let me go to what Stone brought up here. Hold on one second.
Yeah. And then Stone also asked about some of the flowers being over the
Yeah,
blood.
that's what Stone brought up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are very light. So I feel like maybe with the commotion of people being in and out of the scene, they could have moved. So it's a little difficult to say. It's not like it's something very like heavy. I feel like they could have blown around, and unfortunately it's not a scene that's like that. The integrity of the scene wasn't really well preserved. So we don't know. People have been up and down, up to the door. People have been filming this. The scene has been opened, closed, released, and unfortunately, it's really tough to tell. But I don't remember seeing anything in the actual video of the suspicious person at the door. I don't really remember seeing anything.
Suspicious person? What?
No, so
Where's
like the footage of the masked man. I don't know what to
yeah?
call him. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
how there's a second person in the back.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember seeing anything. You can't really see the floor, but I don't think that there was anything happening. I don't think that the blood was there before him, is what I'm saying.
Oh, before I don't think the blood was the blood was definitely not there before he showed up on the
Yeah,
camera. No,
yeah,
because I'm going to tell you right now, if that blood was in front of the house before he showed up, um, it would have been cleaned up.
yeah, yeah. And I did want to ask, I can't remember what video I saw this in, but somebody was saying that one of the neighbors commented about how there had been quite a lot of rain, and they were talking about how Nancy's roof was really clean, so it must have been redone recently. But I was thinking about that rain. I don't know if there was rain anytime after the crime happened. I don't think so, but I mean that could still affect the continuation of the path.
I don't think there
Yeah.
was. Uh-uh. I mean, I'm trying to go through all the different days, and I'm not going to say there wasn't because it's not like I was glued, but
Same.
I don't remember there being any kind of like precipitation in the area or anything. I did hear this stuff about the second person too, and that's something I figured we would go into maybe Friday night or Saturday or whenever we do talk about. I know we got Idaho 4 coming up too. I might have to get into it tomorrow night even with that video because I do want to I do have some zoomed up versions, but I haven't like had a chance to I haven't had a chance to really dig into it or break it down. But I do have the zooms available for myself. But I figure we would maybe go through that tomorrow night, and because that's one of the things that um, when it comes to me seeing stuff that's hidden in footage, I usually notice a lot of stuff that's kind of theirs. So I'm going to go through that and kind of see what I think. So I can't really give an opinion, and if I think there's a second person or not until we dig into it more. But if somebody needed an answer right now, I would say no, because again, with the way that the person showed up, if they had somebody that was avoiding the camera like that because then the other person probably would have been told ahead of time, "Hey, watch out for this," and then that whole scenario would have never taken place. So I don't see one person like having the wit to understand the atmosphere and how to maneuver, and then the one that's in front, is like going up there nonchalant. To me, that would be like some kind of a scapegoat situation where the smart individual is setting up a dumb individual to be the front and center of what is about to take place. But then, if that's the case, well, then I think there would have been more communication with the family in regards as to the ransom and how to get her back. And there would have been, I don't think, to sit there and request 6 million in Bitcoin is ridiculous, for
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that right there is just it's an astronomical number that would be so hard for somebody to meet. It's almost like you're drawing a line in the sand for somebody, and there's no way that they can even reach the freaking line. You're like, "Don't cross this line." And they're like, "I can't even make it over there to try and cross it."
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
there's no like it just there's it doesn't wash. It doesn't make sense. And so that, the way that they showed up and everything else mixed in, with like how it went down and the thought process and decision making and stuff. It just doesn't. I just don't see how. I just don't see how a second person would even be back there, because if there was a second person, I see them doing exactly what the person we see in the camera is doing. Oh crap, there's a camera. So let me see here. They can run our numbers on the glove. I'm not really too worried about the glove, honestly. Again, even though this person was dumb as hell doing this approach on the the house, getting into the house, I don't see this person being a freaking moron to be like, rolling down their window and throwing the glove outside the window as they're driving away saying, "Catch me if you can." I don't see it. I really don't. It's just, again, we were out there doing the boots and the boats, and the amount when I was the one that was getting all of the tips, and I'm going to tell you right now, like, a lot of them were just absolutely ridiculous. If it was like, if you just
Yeah.
used a little common sense, like, does it need to be tested and investigated? Yes, because you never know. But at the same time, the hoopla that is being made about it, it's just like, that it's about clicks for these people when they're discussing this glove like it's some kind of major development, because it's like, if you just used your fucking brain,
Yeah.
then you would it's a big deal if law enforcement says it's a big deal. To make it like a focal point and how it's some huge development, it's just clickbaity, because that is not a huge development. If you really think about it, you're basically saying the person that did the kidnapping is like taking off the gloves, throwing every piece of evidence outside the window, and leaving a trail behind of where they went. It's like, do you really think,
Yeah.
like, I know this guy looks stupid on the camera. I know he looks stupid, but do you really think people are that damn stupid? They're gonna take they're gonna go by 11 days where the FBI doesn't even know where they're at, but yet they're gonna throw their fucking glove out the window? Like, really?
Yeah.
It's clickbaity. It's so yes, glove needs investigated, but at the same time, let's be real. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, I woke up to the glove news. I was like, I opened YouTube and I was bombarded with it. And I was like, well, there must be something about it that's a little bit, a little stronger, evidentially. No, it's just, I was taken aback. It's a glove. I
Okay.
mean, it could mean something, of course, but
The chance of it being involved in the abduction is like somebody from some jungle in Australia that humans don't even know exists, that has some kind of population, and they win the fucking Ohio State lottery. Okay? Like, it's the same odds.
yeah.
Listen, it can happen. Somebody in some unknown jungle, in Australia that nobody knows about, could win the Ohio lottery.
Mm-hmm.
They could, because
Okay.
they could get their little immigration thing, and they can go to the freaking gas station and they can purchase their lottery ticket. Will they be able to turn it in? No, but they can still win it, right? Yeah, they can still win it. It's about that percentage of chance. So, and I bet that happens before this glove is part of this abduction.
Yeah.
Like, huge development. all big caps, all over the thumbnails and the titles, and
Yeah.
it's just like, even the mainstream media. I just it's no wonder nobody likes watching the damn news anymore. It's because it's just filled with propaganda meant to just rehash and guess what, like, even there's channels, news channels that are putting out videos from last Friday like they're today, huge developments in the case, and then you click on it and they're like, thanks for joining us this Friday night, and it's like, what?
I saw that. I
You saw
definitely know
that
what you
too?
mean.
You saw that
Yes.
too? There was a
Yes.
whole bunch of them. I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. It makes prep really difficult because you start by sorting which video has come out, and then when you open it, it's like, okay, so you just got around to uploading it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, there is one of the videos. There is like, I think there's like one of these ex-cops, ex-agents, something to that effect. There's one of them that is discussing the glove. Um, Hold on one second. Is there a? Mm, Hold on a minute. There's a new video with somebody with a backpack in that
Oh.
same area. Hold on one second. Let me go to my Twitter real quick. One second. Oh my gosh. People are doing AI generated videos now, like the kidnappers leading her outside the door, and it's not even her. That's not even her body. Like, oh my
What?
god, yeah, it's on Twitter. There's like fake AI picture. I'm not sure if this is real or not. Oh my god, people are
Hmm.
so sick. This is a
Yeah.
missing grandma here, a missing mother, a missing sick.
I know. And I mean, when you see them doing it with cases of people who are deceased, it's bad enough. But when you're like hampering somebody who could still be found, I don't know if it doesn't get lower than that. It really doesn't.
Where is this? I mean, it doesn't even look like the same outfit. I just saw a photo of it. Trying to see. Yeah, if anybody comes across the video, send it to me or tweet it to me or whatever. To me, it doesn't even. It's not even, the dude don't even have a beard. So, like, right off, like, the backpack it's if it was that color, it's like a dark green color. If it was that color, it wouldn't show up the color that it did on the reverse imaging on the night vision for the camera. The person has a different kind of coat, not even the same type of pants, has a shaved head and a shaved face, so that it's like not even a mustache. So I don't understand. I don't know. My bad. I thought there was actually some new video that was out, and it's just more bullshit. Okay, well, forget about that. What was I doing after before I got distracted by that? I apologize. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, damn! There's another video of somebody digging through something on the same night." And it's like, yeah, that has nothing to do with it.
No, I also got excited about that, but funnily enough, we were talking about the glove
Oh,
just
okay.
before that. Yeah.
Let me see. This could be something. The thing that breaks the case. heading into the 12th day. I'm wondering if they're talking about, yeah, they're talking about this freaking glove. Oh my God. So this is going to, okay. Something, this could be the thing that breaks the case. Okay. We're going to talk about this glove. Damn, this glove is a hot topic. When really, if you just sit back and think about it.
Yeah. I mean, did they say that for the other things that are actually important? Like,
There's
Hey.
also an LL Bean blue shirt out there that's laying in the lawn. Yeah, that's amazing. That didn't get collected. 11 days. Hey, there's a bright blue freaking shirt laying on the. Just leave it. It has nothing to do with it. Probably don't. But then again, it's like, yeah, the person that's abducting is going to rip off the mask. They're going to disrobe. It's you know, and then they're gonna like throw their shirt, take their shirt off and throw it down and say, "There's your first clue, investigators." I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it in the front yard.
That would be
Like,
so helpful. Yeah, that would be great. If criminals could do that, just let them know. That would be fantastic.
you know what?
Thanks.
You know what a criminal needs to do is they need to leave a trail of M&Ms behind.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave a trail of some peanut M&Ms. Okay. Yum. If you want to be generous, throw in some whatchamacallits, okay? All right. Yeah, those okay. But yeah, this is we're gonna oh wait, first I want to go through this. Is this what you're talking about, Stone? Like little parts of the flowers that the person used to block the camera? There's one right there. Right here, it's part of the green. Yeah, don't leave a trail of damp raisins. That's right. That's right. And if you want to know what damp raisins are, show up to a police open patrol BPD episode that we have. We have some here. We did some like we did an episode or two a couple weeks ago on here. And then I play it a lot over at my EvilleCJ TV channel where I do my gaming and stuff. All right. So this be okay. So, hold on. Let's see here. So you got that. You got little bits of the flower, right here and here. So what you're seeing right here is you see how you see this little piece that's stuck, and then you're seeing this little piece that's stuck. The reason that those stuck, and even like this right here, the reason that those stuck is because the wind didn't take them away. It's not.
Yeah.
So you got this one, it's stuck to a droplet of blood. It's not going to take, the wind is not going to take that one away because it's already adhesed itself to that blood droplet. And so did this one right here. And then as you're looking, you got this one here. It was probably close enough to this little mat that the wind didn't catch it. You got another little leaf thing that again adhered to a blood droplet. Okay. We see that horrific spot. And then you got some more of the fake flowers right there, and they're right up against the structure, and so when the wind is coming through, it's gonna come through and kind of do like a whoosh kind of around this way. It's not really gonna go up against the door and pull everything and blow, it kind of has like it's like a drafting effect. It's still gonna blow and change direction, but air, just like water, is gonna take the path of least resistance. And so it's gonna kind of create like a jet stream. It's not gonna be a hard angle where it hits every little surface, that it bumps up against. It's going, now there is a pocket of air that will sit there and continue to rotate as that jet stream type air movement kind of flows through. You're going to have like a little air pocket that creates like a little buffer or a cushion from the air that is flowing through. And so that's why you see a cleaned up area kind of right through here. And then as you're up here, it's part of that different stream of air. as it's coming up against a structure, basically drafting as
Yeah.
the hair is moving.
And also with the fact that the scene was released and then it was, made a crime scene again, so it was cordoned off and then opened and cordoned off.
Yeah.
It's the more times that's done, the less you can trust anything that you see.
Well, and plus that door opening and shutting is going to create air movement for those little droplets of leaves and stuff to get pushed out even more, to get taken away from the wind. And honestly, those little pieces just made it to the rock, the landscaping rocks or grass. It's not like they got picked up in the air and blown away. They just got moved a little bit. And so, they're still there. But yeah, the reason those ones are there is because they actually adhesed to the blood droplets, which made them stick there, and they're going to stick there as long as that blood's there, because when that blood dries, it does create quite an adhesive bond with that leaf, because that when that blood dries, it's thick, and it will hold, especially to a little piece of a leaf or something. All right. Highly possible glove could be connected. But is it cool to check out this mainstream media? Even like TMZ is going crazy with this glove. I don't understand why there's this, unless it's just people wanting attention. I don't understand what is the big thing about this glove, because if they were that stupid to do that, they would have been caught already, even with the shit law enforcement investigation that was being done locally. They would have been caught.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that they would make such a massive mistake like that, unless there's something about the glove that we just don't know, which I can't even think what that would be, honestly.
I mean, why did it even take this? It's just, again, like, even with this crap investigation, they would have been caught. They would have been caught. It makes absolutely no sense. Here's mainstream media discussing that this could be the thing that breaks the case. This is how ridiculous this is. Let's check this out here. Thank you all for being here.
And let's bring in New York Post reporter Georgia Worrell, former Tucson homicide detective Benjamin Jimenez, Fox News contributor Paul Morrow, former San Bernardino County Sheriff's Deputy Megan McCarthy, and missing persons and crime scene expert Cheryl McCollum. Thank you all for coming on tonight. We have some breaking news, and we want to bring in Georgia, because Georgia with the New York Post was actually there today when the glove or gloves were found 1.5 miles away from this house, Georgia. I mean, give us an idea. Walk us through.
Okay, it's even worse. It's even worse. This glove was found 1.5 miles away. What the fuck are we even talking about here? Here, I didn't know it was 1.5 miles away from the house.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
I guess people are running out of things to say, honestly, because they were expecting something big to happen by now, especially with all of the developments of the other night. Now it's like, what do we even say? Let's just talk about the glove.
There was a McDonald's wrapper 5 blocks away. Maybe they had a cheeseburger real quick. I mean, this is ridiculous. And they got 6 people up here about to talk on it. I hope I don't get in trouble. Like, yeah, right, Busby? Oh my gosh, not a glove in the winter, especially when the whole country was going through a freaking cold snap, right?
Right.
Baby face and the cold don't mix, but we push through. We push through.
Persevere. Yeah.
Yeah, we persevere.
What happened, and how did you get there so fast to see them taking pictures and analyzing the gloves?
Well, Trace, it was really just a case of being in the right place at the right time. Honestly, the photographer who's working for the Post and I, we had just been kind of reporting on all the police presence in the area today. And then at one point we were pulled over, the photographer was pulled over on the side of the road, and he saw other law enforcement pulled over and they were staring at something on the ground. And he immediately called me and he said, "Get here right now." And I just so happened to be around the corner, thank goodness. And so I went, and sure enough, other cop cars started pulling up. They were unmarked, but, you know, investigators. And then finally, a man wearing blue gloves and carrying an evidence bag went over and picked it up. And so we were just following them.
And just to kind of clear this up, Georgia, because, you know, Jonathan is referring to, because we've got a lot of sources that are telling us it was actually 2 gloves they found. You say it looked to you like 1 glove, and
So they took the gloves off and said, "Here you go." A mile and a half away.
Yeah, I don't know.
After this, I'm not discussing this glove anymore, unless, and I'm telling you right now, it's the same probability as somebody in a jungle, some kind of society we don't even know exists, winning the Ohio State lottery. So if that person wins the Ohio State lottery, we will discuss this glove in the future. After this, there's no reason, honestly. And the only reason I want to play this is because I want to show everybody it's not just, you know, the people that are trying to get attention for their own benefits and their financials, but the mainstream media, how much they're pumping this, you know. And you have to understand, there's a lot of people that wouldn't be pumping this glove stuff if the mainstream media wasn't pumping the glove stuff, because a lot of these people just go off of mainstream media and what they're saying to then create their content, and therefore they're going to regurgitate what mainstream media is doing. And it just takes a little bit of common sense. And shout out to the person who's about to win the lottery from a society we don't even know exists. You're about to be rich.
Congratulations.
The early reporting was 1 glove. Possible that it could have been 2.
Absolutely possible. Honestly, it was a pretty big mound. You could see it from across.
I don't think it was a lady. I think it was a dude that manicured his freaking eyebrows. I mean, that's what I think. 80 for the... it turned out not to be cherry. It turned out not to be anything to do with the abduction. The FYI, the area of West is covered in cameras. And it's kind of late, you know, trying to find footage from back then. I mean, listen, if law enforcement's on the ball day 1, day 2, day 3, they got all that stuff. It's secured. It's on a server. It's on a storage device. It's getting, you know, documented and dug through. And that's what I'm saying. If they would have approached it day 1, we would be day 11, day 12, and we're probably talking about Nancy being found, and she's in the hospital and she's recovering from the horrific thing that happened, and, you know, she's getting fluids and vitamins, and she's just going to be in there for a few days, and then she'll be coming out, and then there's going to be a celebration and all this other stuff. No, unfortunately, we're still sitting here talking, and then we're talking about the probabilities and statistics of her still being alive at this point. It's in the single digits instead of just 10 or 15% down from 100. It's completely different.
Sources that are telling us it was actually 2 gloves they found. You say it looked to you like 1 glove, and in the early reporting was 1 glove. Possible that it could have been 2.
Absolutely possible. Honestly, it was a pretty big mound. You could see it from across the street, and it was a big, wide freeway. And so, but I only saw the top of the top one was definitely a glove. So it's very possible that there was another glove right underneath that one. Yeah, just wasn't visible to us.
I want to go back, if I can now, Cheryl McCollum, to bring you into the conversation here. When you think about gloves, and I know you've been through a lot of investigations, and you're a specialist with evidence. I want to know, when you heard today that they had found a glove. I was saying all day long. I said it was kind of surreal to me, because we haven't seen FBI agents out here scanning the roads, right, and the brush. We just haven't seen that. And then all of a sudden they go out today and they're scanning the roads and the brush here near Nancy's house. And to me, it was like they were looking for something, and maybe the glove is what they were looking for. But suddenly, 4 hours later, boom.
They were. So you mean they were looking for the glove a mile and a half away when they were looking at the house? What the hell is this guy saying? Like, they were at the house. They were at the house doing searches again and possibly looking for the gloves. What is that? This is so bad, man. This is so bad. This is crazy. This is why there's channels out there promoting this glove bullshit. Come on. Common sense. You're sleuthers. Right. Yeah, I mean, you got to use common sense to be a sleuther, right? This guy's obviously not a sleuther, because he thought they were looking for the gloves. Hey, Jimmy, mile and a half away. Do you see those gloves that I see? Yeah, go to the left a little bit. Yep. No, about 2 feet. Yeah, come my way. A little bit more. A little bit. Right there. Right there. You think that took place?
And he's so excited about it as well.
He's standing right out. He's standing right by the blood droplets. Nope, my way. Just a little bit more, Jimmy. Yep, a little bit. Come here. Come here.
Yeah.
Little bit more. Okay, right there.
There. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's what this guy thinks right here. What the?
Maybe so sad. I don't know. Nobody's had enough sleep. Maybe it's that. I don't know what. I mean, he's excited.
I haven't had enough sleep. That's for sure. Yeah. So let's see what these people say. This guy. Oh my gosh, dude.
They find the glove or gloves, and it seems to me like this could be a significant clue if it does in fact belong to the person that we assume, or we are hoping that it belongs
to. Way back.
This could be the thing that breaks the case. You're showing a video right now of the suspect at Nancy's door and the glove that was found. If you
Oh my gosh. I hate to laugh, but this is so ridiculous.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but I've never agreed with her. I've seen her on a couple shows, and I'm just like, I don't know where she gets her ideas. Sorry.
And I don't know where she gets that jacket, because that thing is ugly as hell. I'm sorry.
Same place as her ideas.
That color, Let's go on a show. Let's go on a show on national media talking about somebody that was kidnapped, and there's dried blood droplets all over the place. And let's wear a jacket that displays that same color.
Yeah.
Does that not resemble dried blood? I mean, and then you add leather to it, and it's got that shiny effect. That looks like a jacket that blood just was poured all over it. Wrong choice. She needs to do what I do. We got a bunch of merch hoodies, same design, different, same design, same fresh smell every day. You just got to have multiple, and then when it's showtime, you got to throw on the show hoodie. You got to throw on the show hoodie. Yeah.
We'll let her know.
Yeah, don't wear blood red That's just horrible.
You look
But
at it, most of the gloves that you're going to wear for crime scenes stop about right here at the wrist. Both of these gloves look like they're a little bit longer. That to me is significant. But I tell you something, I am tired of wasting time. These gloves have got to go to a private lab. Othram in Texas can test this glove and give us an answer within 24 hours. We don't need to waste any more time on any of this evidence.
Yeah, former homicide detective Benjamin Jimenez, what are your thoughts? When you heard about the glove today, were you thinking could be big, or were you thinking, oh, we have a long process to go?
I was thinking that Nancy's DNA would be on that glove if it was in fact used in the crime. So I imagine those gloves are already en route to Quantico to get tested. They're probably already there by now. So we should have results really quick with this.
And Nancy's blood, you were thinking on the outside of the glove. What about the inside of the glove? Could there be some DNA that could be useful on the inside?
I was thinking Nancy.
Does that mean since I'm saying that the chance of this being involved in the disappearance is, the same as somebody from a society we don't know in the middle of Australia winning the Ohio State lottery? If I am right, Rosee, does that mean that I have a good chance of winning the lottery? I have a good chance at winning the lottery? What do you think? Should I go get a lot?
I think you have a better chance than the Australian people.
Maybe I should, once we find out that this glove has nothing to do with it, then maybe that's the day.
Lottery ticket for you.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to go out and get me a lottery ticket when we find out and it's confirmed that, and it's probably be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be tomorrow when it's confirmed this has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Even from the bottom of Africa here, I'm gonna go play the Ohio State lottery tomorrow, just in case. Just in case. Yeah.
Log on, have fun. Play responsibly. Shoot, I might as well, because what? Can you imagine if I did win the lottery? Boy, this production, we wouldn't have technical issues anymore. We would have top-notch, state-of-the-art graphics. Oh, so many things would be happening. But fat chance, just like this glove being involved. 1 in 7.8 million chance. Yeah, that's worse odds than
It's not nothing. I don't know.
The society in Australia we don't know about. Yeah, that's huge. And these people, well, hopefully it has some of Nancy's DNA on it. Like, it's just crazy what these people are doing here. Just you'll see it. You'll go out through, you already saw it today. Wait till tomorrow. And you're sitting here and you'll see the people that are promoting this glove BS it makes you sick, because you're just like, these people are using Nancy's suffering.
Yeah.
Like, let's get to the real facts. That's the only way that the outcome that everybody wants is going to happen, is you just get to the real facts. Like, why waste all of this time and attention on stuff that doesn't, it doesn't even a mile and a half away. Like,
yeah, but I think it kind of demonstrates how little we know at this point when it comes to the entire case. Like, people are really grasping.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it's because of the shit investigation from day one from the local law enforcement.
Yeah. So they have to make news out of anything, because what else are you gonna do? Say nothing?
Yeah, really. Say nothing. I'm not even gonna finish watching this, because is this Josh Ritter? No. Let's see if anybody talks common sense here. I'm gonna skip her. Let's go to this guy. They're obviously part of the agenda. Let's go to this guy and see if he says it too. They're probably all in agreement.
Kind of got pulled back a little, Paul Morrow, but then you hear about the gloves and you think, okay, things are ginning up again. What do you think?
Cheating up?
Yeah, Trace, and that's how investigations go. They have their peaks and valleys, and then at one point, all of a sudden, you hit sort of, the peak acceleration, and
Peter.
the thing wraps up, and I do think we're going to get there. I would say 2 points relative to the glove. First of all, Bortak is on the scene here. I was talking to somebody from that unit today. That's essentially the SWAT members from the Border Patrol. Why does that matter? Because one of the things they can do that a cop like me from a city doesn't know how to do is they know how to track in the desert. That's what they're trained to do. They can find stuff out there that I would not see. And so if there is something to find relative to this glove that goes off into a direction, or maybe they have some tracks that they can follow, kind of stuff, again, that I couldn't see, you have the right people here. That's key. Secondly, to double tap what our crime scene guest was talking about relative to Othram. I just want to make this point real quick, if I may. The Othram thing is important because that's who does the familial.
By those gloves at any time.
Next.
You have Paul Morrow and you have Benjamin Jimenez, Megan McCarthy saying, listen, this is what we're looking for on the gloves. What do you think? How big of a deal do you think finding these gloves, if in fact they are the gloves of the person who walked up on the porch 11?
Well, that's a dumb question. It's like asking, is it going to be warm when the sun comes up? Yeah, it's going to be a little warm. Not sure how warm, but it's going to be slightly warm for sure. That's the dumbest question.
Yeah, I mean, if it has anything to do with the case, then it has anything to do with the case. That's
the answer. Oh my Lord. All right. I want to discuss for a few minutes and then I'll have to hop off. I want to discuss for a few minutes and more about the investigation from the very beginning. Is there a particular video that you would like to use to highlight that with what you got prepared for that? We'll dig more into that in the next episode that we do. Is there like a specific video on that? I do have that playlist up that you sent me.
Okay, so I have a few short clips from some videos because a lot of them they talk about a lot of things and then they generally just mention.
Okay.
So I think the.
Do you want to screen share?
I can.
Or is there? Yeah, go ahead. I don't.
Okay.
Sorry. You just let me know.
Okay, hold on. Let me screen share. Let me just get everything back up. I lost it when I was kicked out. So.
No, you're fine.
So this one, it's a little bit of a clip from the video that Harris Faulkner did, and it was a while ago. But what's really nice about her is that she's very familiar with the area. So I'm kind of assuming that if she's familiar with the area, then she's also familiar with sort of the police department. Let me just get that.
And I'll probably be talking about this some more tomorrow night. I'm not sure. I might just put out a general notification and then see what goes on. And then I might do like a combo show tomorrow where we talk different cases in one show. I also thought about opening up phone lines tomorrow night too, to maybe take some calls. So I'll probably put out a general thumbnail where it's just the EvilleCJ show live, and but we'll be back tomorrow night. I might actually go on a little earlier instead of 9, or no, tomorrow night I'm on at 7:30. Tomorrow night 7:30. My bad. We'll be on tomorrow night 7:30 no matter what. And I'm sure we're going to talk more about this. We might talk some stuff, bring in some other subjects in with it too. Okay.
Really struck me in the news conference, though, was the resetting, if you will, or the regret of releasing that crime scene. Remember a couple of days ago, the sheriff announced, oh, no, the crime scene's clear. That allowed people to trample all over that. And then at the news conference today, at the behest of a reporter who asked, do you regret that? He said, yeah, hindsight being 2020, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Isn't that so?
I'm curious, Harris, and
hindsight being 2020. Like, no, it's called do your damn job, bro.
Right. And like I said, I mean, I don't know if it was pointless to play that little clip, but I think that it's so important that, because I don't remember hearing that question being asked to him, it's so important that somebody did try and ask him that. And his response was like, what was that response? Was he trying to be funny? What? You can't say that.
Hindsight being 2020. Like, no, that's what you do as an investigator. You plan for those things happening and you prepare for it and you already know what to do. You don't sit there and open it up and close it down and open it up and close it down and open it up and close it down. You don't do that.
Right.
And what even made it worse, it's just like what Idaho Moscow PD did. They set up a barrier and then they extended the barrier after the barrier they already set up. No, you don't. Like, that's not how it goes. These people, multiple times, they did it. Not once, not twice, multiple times. Open it, shut it down, crime scene. Or open it up, crime scene, then shut it down. Come back, open it up, and it's even bigger, and then shut it down. Come back, open it up, and it's even bigger than that, and then shut it down. And then you got the FBI coming, and but yet no ground searches.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I'm glad that you mentioned that of it getting bigger and bigger, because from just like the way that I understand it logically, it should be getting smaller, right? You should be narrowing in on the central point, which is the scene. And I've never seen a case where it's open and closed so much. Like, maybe there would be an excuse for like once, because okay, now the FBI is here, they want to check what's been done.
Right.
But what is this? I don't understand what the reason could be. Like, when you're done with the scene, it should be complete. You should have accounted for everything that you could need, right? I just don't get it.
I don't either, because really, by the way of that, like, you contaminated, like, after you close down the first one, the scene is contaminated at that point. You see all of those people standing there outside the house every day. You see them standing there outside the house, multiple people, tons of people just standing there looking like somebody's going to walk out that door. I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't understand, because it's not like the kidnapper's going to come drop her off and she's going to come walking out the door. That's not going to happen. So I don't understand what all the focus is on the house and why people continue to stand out there every day, because it's not like anything's going to happen there. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen at the sheriff's office. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen at another property. It's not going to happen at this property. So, the amount of people that have been standing there from the beginning, once you close down that crime scene, hell, we're watching the video of Brian Enton walking up to the frickin' front door, and he could have walked all over that blood that he was recording. But they want to open up the crime scene again? Like, it's contaminated. What is the purpose of opening up another crime scene and extending it when it's contaminated?
Yeah, I mean, even the act of processing it is going to contaminate it in some way, which is probably why you'd want to do it once.
Hello. Probably, maybe, just a suggestion. Ridiculous. All right, sorry, didn't want to. Go ahead and you can keep playing it. It's ridiculous. They need to be held accountable. That's what I'm saying. Like, if if this ends up going on where nobody knows anything and she's just gone for years and years and years, these people need to lose their damn jobs. Because if that's how you handle, that is so wrong. I would hate for if my family member went missing, I would hope to God they didn't live in that county.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I don't want somebody looking for my loved one with that kind of minimal effort. No, not happening. Not happening.
Exactly.
We got to go here, but I'm curious, when you look at the neighborhood, you know the neighborhood. Every time we cover breaking news, whether it's a school shooting, whether it's some kind of bank robbery, so on and so forth, how far is that home from the closest interstate or freeway? Because it's interesting, how many neighborhoods would they have to go through to be able to get to a major roadway where there are not a lot of homes and not a lot of cameras, because that would be in consideration here.
Yeah, I'm looking. That would be to get to I-19, to get to those areas, Ina Road, Oracle, where there's a shopping center, maybe 10 minutes, 10-minute drive. Tucson Mall also near there. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be that far. But again, you're not talking about somebody would physically have to carry her. She didn't have her crane.
Right.
So they get her in a vehicle and they could maybe get out of there. I-19. So what's interesting about that, too, is would they head to the border? Would they go north? Where would they be going? Did they have a thought out plan? We are a lot of days out from this now.
Yeah.
And so
my point exactly. And the reason I say that, Harris, is because, you know, it's interesting how many, when they're looking, they said, look, we're going around neighborhoods and we're looking to see at what time, you know, that early in the morning, how many cars are going by. So, you know, that's you go back to a lot of these crimes that we've done and there's only a few cars on the road. So how many neighborhoods do you have to go through? How many neighborhoods have, security cameras to be able to kind of identify that? And if you have to go through a lot of neighborhoods before you get to a major road, that ups your odds of them hitting on something at some point in the next several days.
Well, real quickly, if you're looking for anybody who might have seen someone, if they went to an area that's not far away, and that's why I mentioned those bars and restaurants, if they went to that area and people were just leaving or wrapping up or whatever, they would fold in. It would be hard for them to stick out because there'd be people around. If they went to a more deserted area and anyone could see them, they'd be the only ones out. So at this point, this far out, knowing which direction they went in, are they going south? Are they, down toward that mall? Are they going here? Or are they just trying to be in the wilderness? You have to know that area well to get out from where Nancy Guthrie's house is in the dark.
So I just wanted to point out as well, like, I think that that's so important to what you were saying before about the scene getting bigger instead of getting smaller, because that really does demonstrate the stuff that she's saying there is demonstrating how much time they had lost, because this video was already, like she was saying, quite a lot of time has gone by. So the investigation was just getting so stale by this point. And she's somebody who's familiar with the area. And I think that what she's getting at as well is that you want the scene to be getting smaller towards that focal point, instead of now starting to think about roads on day 6 or something. It makes no sense.
Nope.
No sense to me.
From the very beginning. It's like, that's why each day that goes by and I'm just like, man, it's times like this where I know damn well as soon as we show up, we're getting stuff coordinated. As soon as we're getting stuff coordinated the night before we show up, we're already coordinated on everything that we're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, it really hurts my heart to see, see nothing being done,
And a lot of people were coming out early on and commenting about how some of the stuff just it seemed really irregular, the way they were doing it.
Yeah, and they wanted to, deflect it and everything. It's just like these the manhole and stuff like that. To go along with, and we'll dig into the more of the Ellie stuff, and I might even a little bit tomorrow night. it's kind of like what I was saying when the manhole thing came out, and everybody was making a big deal about this manhole thing. It's like, it's, to me, it was like a smoke screen. And I think a lot of this stuff is like a smoke screen. It's giving that smoke screen that they're actually trying to do something.
Yeah.
When if you really think about it, like we're talking about a population of how many people? 30, 40,000, something like that. You don't think there's going to be a freaking latex glove anywhere. You don't think there's going to be a cigarette pack anywhere. You don't think there's going to be a candy wrapper anywhere. You don't think there's going to be tissue anywhere. You don't think there's going to be trash.
Yeah.
I mean, it all of this stuff. What if this stuff is connected? And it's probably it's. But what if it is? All these days go by. How many times, like what that glove could have the degrading of a DNA profile that would take place. All of these different things that just time takes away.
Yeah.
And to think that if it would have been, the video would have been, put out the day after, the photos would have been put out the day after, all of this stuff, the discoveries, any of these things. I really feel like they could have got her. I really feel like they could have captured this person. You're talking this many days away. That leaves so much more opportunity to further that distance. It's not
Yeah.
good. 560. I don't know why was I thinking 30 or 40? I must have another, I don't know, for some reason. 30 or 40,000. I don't know where I came from. I have there's another town in my head and I got it mixed up, I guess. Because I was like, yeah, 35, 40, and I don't remember what town I'm thinking of, but thank you. So there's 560,000 opportunities for trash to be on the ground.
Right. Yeah. And with what you're saying in terms of so much time going by, I think it is really noteworthy as well that we're not really dealing with like the strongest of victims. So, I mean, right off the bat, they came out and said that she had medication that she needed. So that should have upped the urgency so much because every day that goes by, she's not only in danger from her captors, but she's in like danger just from her physical ailments as well,
Yeah.
where she's unattended. She's not in the care of a doctor.
Yep. Especially with that kind of blood loss, That's what really, really concerns me is the blood loss on the sidewalk there and what it looks like. And then as you zoom in and you see the clotties and
Yeah.
John Benet Ramsey's father draws parallels, but geez, come on, people. His freaking daughter was kidnapped. How is there parallels? Because it's a kidnapping. That's the only parallel. There wasn't anybody else in her house, and they didn't take her under the nose of other family members living in the same property. I mean, jeez, I feel so bad for Nancy because there's so many fucking people using
Yeah.
her situation to like, hey, look at me,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, exactly. And I think that they've drawn parallels with a lot of cases, and I don't even see how. Like, I
Most
heard
people do. Sorry.
someone comparing this to Koberger, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
huh?
Like the person that abducted Nancy is being compared to Koberger, and I'm just, yeah. I had the same reaction. I'm like, is it that slow of a news day?
Exactly.
How about we talk about stuff that's relevant to the case? Let's talk about the evidence. Let's talk about the information. Let's talk about local law enforcement effing this up. They need to
Yeah.
be held accountable. They're gaslighting the public, trying to do little jibby jab moves, trying to sneak away and dodge. No, they should
Yeah.
be held to the fire. That's why they're not having press conferences. I bet you.
I was
I
just
bet
gonna
you.
say that because I mean their updates are that they're not giving updates, and I think I think I don't know. I don't come from a country where we have big press conferences on cases like this, but I feel like it's a little disrespectful not to. Like they should come out and at least just
Every other
brief
day,
them.
just an update.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we found a glove over here. We're going to get that sent over. No, it's because they don't want to give the opportunities for them to be called out from local reporters.
Yeah, but the problem with that really is that it's causing people to do this thing where they're just making stuff up and
Yeah.
getting excited over anything because they haven't had that direction which the sheriff is supposed to give to come out and say no or yes or maybe, or even if you just come out and say we haven't had a lot of developments, but just to be reassuring at least.
Yep. None of it's happening like it's supposed to. And I just, and every time I see Nancy's photo, that's what I picture.
Yeah.
I see her photo and I'm just like, I'm sorry, you deserved better than what you got, not only from the lack of searches that have been taking place, but the lack of real investigating that took place from the local law enforcement, which she was part of that community. They were supposed to be the ones to take care of her.
Yeah.
And
And
unfortunately, they're the ones that are like the farthest away from taking care of her,
and it's I think that lack of leadership is also what's causing people to start taking advantage of things like fake ransom notes, people wanting a Bitcoin to give. I mean, I don't know where that person gets the impression that they can do that. Why don't they just contact the tip line? It's supposed to be Nancy first, not your Bitcoin first, right? And I think that is coming from the fact that people are starting to tap into the fact that there's not really a central control here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if they're part of, if they truly have knowledge of who did it, and there hasn't been any conversations, there might be conversations that we don't know about that haven't been put out publicly between law enforcement and this individual, but I can almost guarantee you that each minute that because there's only going to be so many people who know who did that. There's only going to be so many people, and it's not going to be hard to find out when somebody comes out and publicly says, hey, I can name them if you give me some Bitcoin. Well,
Right.
you're also that stupid to put it out publicly that you're going to be a snitch because hello, you're probably around the same circle that you were with when you quote, and so if you really truly know, I wouldn't imagine you to make it overnight, buddy.
Especially since, is it Harvey Levin? He said that they put their name and email address in there as well. like, okay.
It's like we're dealing. Never mind, because there was another case that we covered where we dealt with criminals that were this freaking stupid, and it's just like, wow, I didn't think we'd run into another one, but yep. If that's true, if that's how they approached and navigated through this whole ordeal and situation.
Yeah.
Busby, they don't want to be exposed because they can come out and say, yes, we did this, and then they open it up for questions, and damn well those reporters are going to be asking, some of them are going to be asking the same questions we are, and they don't want that. They don't want to have to maneuver and dive around. As you saw, that sheriff isn't that good at it in the first place to dip and dive.
Yeah, yeah, because I know that in one of the early press conferences, one of the journalists did ask him, "Are you withholding information?" I'm not, this is not an exact quote, but basically the gist of it was, "Are you withholding information to protect the investigation or for some reason?" And I don't even remember his answer, but I remember it was hardly even related to the question. It was like he just I don't know what he was saying. Yeah.
Well, I can guarantee you he last got a haircut before he last did a search.
He
So,
tried he tried to make it nice to speak to Ashley Banfield though. But
oh, did he? Well,
yeah,
I
I
can
think
guarantee he got a haircut before he did it. He got a haircut since he last did a search, and this poor lady. I wish it at times like this it makes me wish that I was still out there doing this, because I'm like, man, I know damn well that, and Nancy deserved it. I know damn
yeah.
well if we were out there, we would have had, there would have been another movement of searches going on over in that area. I'm surprised nobody hasn't initiated any over there, honestly, because you're only going to sit outside of a house for so long, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't understand why nobody didn't show up and initiate searches as a public, you know. I really don't. Like, it's shocking to me that this is a missing persons case and nobody's out there fucking searching, not even the people that are behind cameras. It's like, what? It's like, I nobody knows where she's at, and nobody knows if she's around there, like I said, in the bushes. And just to think that it could be another night that Nancy's under the stars in the middle of some patch of land that
Yeah.
has been, uh, been attracted, has attracted wildlife and these things. And it's another night where it's like, if they would have just came out and looked for me, it pisses me off. It really does.
Yeah.
It
I
pisses
understand
me
that.
off. If they would have
Yeah.
just came out and looked for me. And it's another night of stars, moonlight glow over the area that it just, anyway, the more I talk about it, it's just going to really upset me. It just sucks. I wish Arizona was right. I was right next to it, because then it'd be like, screw it. It's not, it's not that manageable, but I would figure out a freaking way. But it's the
Yeah.
distance is just,
Yeah. I
there's
know.
just, unless I win that damn lottery, there's no effing way that it's happening. But trust me, if I could, I definitely would. And you already know what I did the last few years, where my heart's at. And damn well we would have
Yeah.
shit done. You know, we would already have expanded out into different areas and outside of the city. We'd probably be in mountains and wildlife areas. Um, trying to do what we can, because just the thought of her laying under moonlight, cold, cold and
Yeah.
just not even respected for the soul that she deserves to be respected for, when it just would take somebody to just go on a stroll and do a grid search or something. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk more in the next one.
Hmm.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. I know we never get to go through anything that we always want to go through. It's always a catch up game, but I don't know. I just, some people hate the jibber jabber. I
Mhm.
love I that's one of the reasons why I don't upload videos, because I could do like what most people do and just upload a video and spend time by myself, and then you think I'm spending time with you, but really I'm not, because you're watching the video. I just sit here by myself and make a video, and then I'm not talking to anybody. But that's one of the reasons why I do what I do with these live shows, is because I like to have the information and things that we need to discuss, but I love um the interactive conversations that we can have through these different topics, whether it's us on panel or people in
Yeah.
chat. So I think it's the most beautiful thing, when when we're talking about communication. I think it's the most beautiful thing that we can have. And so when we can get together and discuss things and not be a show where it's we're going to discuss what we want to, and what you want to discuss, we'll just save it for a video where we read your comments. No, let's do this shit live. Let's experience
Yeah.
this together on the fly in real time. And that's why I love doing these so much. And so yes, we're gonna every pretty much show we're gonna not be able to get through everything, but I'm not worried about it, and I never am, because we'll eventually get to it. If we didn't, we got to everything we wanted to talk about. We just didn't show a lot of stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We talked about it. We talked about it, and then we also included you, which you can't do
Yes.
when you're doing those kind of videos. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate it very much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and also subscribe to Rosie here. Here's her link as well. Um, and no, thank you for hopping in. I appreciate it. We'll talk more. I know you're coming back Friday night, so we'll have you back Friday night. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central. We'll be back. Rosie will be with us, and we'll be back Friday at 9:30 p.m. Central. And then we got to sneak in a open patrol police simulator episode this
Yes, we
weekend.
do. Yes, we do.
It's been a couple weeks, and we don't need we don't need Rosie getting rusty
Yeah.
out in the field.
I will forget.
Yeah, we don't need the rust. Yes, have a blessed night, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you for all the work that you do, Rosie, and for the
You
stuff,
too.
the preparation for tonight. And thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow on the next live earlier. And who knows? I'll have a notification out tomorrow morning at some point, and I might just have a general and then update the title and all that as I kind of see what's going on. It might be a combo, it might be just a Nancy episode. I'm not sure, but there's definitely more to discuss and to get
Oh yeah.
into with that, especially really breaking down this the fumbaloos from the law enforcement, because I think that really, I want to say this, and I support them, and I always have. I got the stuff on the vehicle that I support, but you also got to call out the ones that ain't there for the victims.
Yeah.
It's not all peaches and cream. Sometimes there's a sour apple mixed in, and you gotta talk about it too. It is what it is. So I appreciate you. I appreciate them, and thank God the FBI is out there. Hopefully they can come across something that'll be beneficial and can lead them in the direction, and hopefully find Nancy safe.
Yeah.
Thank you all. We'll see you on the next live. Stay safe, and we love you. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everyone.